Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Karen with Creative Paper Artisan, and I am going to be playing with another fun pop-up idea that I've seen recently, and of course I had to play with it, so I want to share it with you. I'm going to use book pages, but you don't necessarily have to. You can just use colored paper. I just love book pages, and I'm trying to think of lots and lots of different book page ideas. So that's what I'm going with, but you can use any kind of pretty colored paper. So these, you're going to need 7 pieces, and these are 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 square. And it really doesn't matter. You can make them as big as you want, but this is a very manageable size. So that's kind of what I'm sticking with. But you can make them any size, just as long as they're square, okay? And you will need 7 of them. So here we go. This is not as complicated as it may seem, especially, I'm going to explain it the way that makes sense to me, and so hopefully that will help make sense to you. The video I saw, there was no explanation, and it took me a couple of times to watch it, and I thought, okay, there's got to be a better way to explain this. So, okay, the first thing you want to do is fold it up tip to tip like this into a big triangle, okay? Alrighty, and then with the folded side here, you kind of turn that to your left, and then fold these 2 corners up. And then again, oops, get my nail in there. This doesn't want to, okay. So, and then again, with the folded side down towards you, not these 2, but the solid folded side down towards you, and then you're going to do it one more time, tip to tip there. Okay, and so then what we're going to do with this solid folded side here, we're going to draw like a half of a heart shape, just to kind of give us a nice guide. So something like that. Oh, I don't have that tip quite folded quite the way I want it. Nice and even. Nice and even. The better precision you have on this, the better. So, all right. So I'm going to cut this out with my little fussy cut scissors here, because they've got some power to them. All right. So we just cut this out like so. Toss that. And then when we open it up, we have our heart, and you keep opening it up, and you have a bit of a blossom there, right? Okay, so then let me get my little protector here. One option is to make all of your flowers different colors. I haven't done that yet, but the way I have done it, and I like it, is having the flower that's going to be in the middle will be its own color, and then the other 6 will be the same color. So I'll have just 2 different colors. And honestly, the reason I haven't done all different colors is because I don't feel a really wide variety of inks to make a nice pretty bouquet. So I'm just going to stick with my 2 colors here. So I've decided to go with these 2. I'm trying to decide if I want more pink and 1 blue in the middle, or 1 pink and more of the blues. That's what I'm still trying to decide. I think I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with 1 pink in the middle, and then more blues. All right, so here's what I've been doing. And actually, let me grab a different sponge for that. I actually don't have one of these brushes for pink. mostly because I don't do a whole lot of pink, but I've actually ordered some more of these because I feel I have a few colors I'd like to keep a little bit more separate, and pink I definitely needs its own little color there. So I'm using Victorian Velvet Distress Oxide on here. So if you saw my video on the difference between the Distress Oxide inks, well, between the Distress Oxide and the Distress ink, you will have learned that the Distress Oxide kind of sits on top of the paper more, and the inks kind of soak into the paper. And I just happen, this is all I have. So this is what we're going to use. But it actually works pretty nicely with this. So I'm just going to, this is not going to be as smooth as I'd like, which is another reason why, oops, I'll just do one in pink. That way I'm not doing a bunch of them, struggling with a bunch of them like this. But I'll show you what I mean here. Okay, so now we're going to leave the bottom heart, so to speak. We're going to leave that alone. And yeah, that did not blend as well as I'd hoped, but I think it actually still will look pretty. So the next thing I'm going to do is choose a color. Let me choose, I think I'll do like a purple. And what we're going to do is kind of draw out my little star there, and then just kind of do kind of like the middle of a flower, right? I like to do some long ones and then a bunch of little short ones. It doesn't have to be, artistic or anything by any means. It's just kind of the visual idea here. All right. And if I had a good color to put on the edge, like a darker pink, well, you know what? Let me do a little bit of a purple. Hang on. Okay. I'm gonna bring out the purple here. I think that'll actually look quite nice. And I'm going to go along the edges and see with this brush now I can very, very easily kind of go along the edges and just kind of gently smoothly blend things along. And just kind of give it another little layer of interest just along the edges. Oh, I think that's going to be pretty. Ooh, I like it already. Okay. Now, something that I'm going to try here, I have not tried this yet, but I'm going to outline the edges a little bit with just with like a black marker. And I don't think I want to use a Sharpie. I think that's too wide. Let me see. Do I have something? Oh, let me see. Well, that's dry, so that won't work. Let's see here. Let me see. I don't have, this is a dark blue, but I think that'll be good. That'll be fine. So I'm just going to kind of do like squiggly, rough little, kind of some squiggly, some not squiggly lines. It's kind of roughly drawn, because what I'm trying to mimic here is kind of like a Beatrix Potter feel. You know how she has those beautiful watercolors with kind of ink, ink around everything, and then she watercolors the figures in. I'm going to try that. I think that might pop quite nicely. So that's what we're going to do. I'll keep that handy. And then the next step is we're going to cut to the middle and then just cut this little heart in half. Like so. Okay, we're going to hang on to this. And then we're going to glue, and I'm using this Fabrifix, which I think is, I'm not sure if it's replacing Fabri-Tac. I haven't been able to find Fabri-Tac, but anyway, it's close enough, I think. But this is not super thin, but it is book page. It's the thinness of a book page. So I don't want any of the other glues to bleed through. And this works really good with this without bleeding through. And a glue stick, I think, would be not sturdy enough. So anyway, so we just fold it like this and create a little blossom. And if there's a little bit of edge showing, then now's the time to trim that. Like so. Okay. Lovely. All right, so now I'm going to do this again. I'm going to do it 6 more times. But I'm going to do the rest of them off camera, but I will show you just one more time. Tip to tip, make a big triangle. Well, get it straight. That's helpful. All right, tip to tip, and then turn the folded side to your left. Fold up, tip to tip. And then again, tip to tip, like so. Okay, and with this solid fold here, we're going to use this as our little template, because we want them all to be as close to same as possible. So I'm just going to trace right around here. Whoops. And then when I cut it, it's going to be darn close. Really close. So that is how I'm going to proceed with the rest of them. And when I'm ready to start coloring, I'll come back and show you my my plans for the blue. I think it's going to be really pretty. All right, I'll be back. Okay, I've got all my little whatchamacallits cut out, my little blossoms. And yeah, okay. I think some of them, yeah, okay. That'll do. I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, use the blue. And these will be, I think, a lot smoother. This is also an oxide, so the color is going to sit on top of that. And I think that actually looks nice. The last time I didn't cover as much. I just did more of the edges and let some of the book page color show. But I think I'm liking it going all the way to the middle, or at least mostly. A little bit of book page color showing through isn't bad. I just like the different levels of interest, And then I'll just go ahead and use the same blue here. Let's see. Yeah, I'll use that. Okay, so just kind of give myself the little legs there, and then do a few long ones, and then a bunch of short ones. Or you could do whatever if you want to, like, be really artistic and really, start drawing actual looking, stamens and all that fun stuff. Go for it. That's awesome. I'm not in the mood to be illustrating right now, so I'm just going to go with the basic. The basic. Okay. And you know what? I'm thinking it was dawning on me as I was cutting the rest of these out. If I add purple to this just a little bit, it's going to look like, but the hydrangeas, some of my favorite flowers. You know how sometimes they have different colors on them, like the blue and the purple together, and then pink and the blue. And I think this might actually look really cool if I do a little bit of purple. Not much, maybe a little bit less than I did on the pink. I think that's going to look really pretty. That'll look like a bouquet of hydrangeas, which, oh my goodness, one of my favorites for sure. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty. Yay. Okay. So then again, we will cut this guy in half and just glue. And make sure the glue goes all the way, covers this whole section here, because you want it to be good and sturdy. And then just fold it over. And voila, you have another blossom. That looks like a hydrangea blossom. I'm loving it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do that to the rest of these, and I'll be back. All right, my lovelies. I've got all my pretty little blossoms all done. Okay, so here comes the fun part. Here comes the fun part. Okay, first of all, you need to go through each blossom and kind of make sure that there's a fold on each half. You know what I mean? Just kind of go through it 3 times is really what you need to do. All you need to do. And kind of make sure that's folded. And I've got a little overhanger here. I will just cut that. Okay. So I'm going to do that I'm going to put the middle one aside for a minute. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this folding thing for the next 2. Just make sure, because you want everything to, really move really easily. So I've got one. Let me but secure the folds here. Okay. All right, and one more for now. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do, and I'm going to use a Sharpie for this so that you can see it hopefully a little bit easier. Okay, so I'm going to put a dot on each end, okay? And that's going to be where the glue needs to go. So we're going to do the glue, and we don't want to do the whole thing. We're just going to do basically just the very tippy top where the dot is, maybe a little bit more towards the edge there, Okay, and then we're going to take one of the other ones here and lay it on top of that and kind of line it up so that the corners, are kind of meet. And it's not going to be exactly precise, but get as close as you can. Get as close as you can. Okay, so then we made this dot here. So now we're going to do the same thing here. And we're going to lay this one like this, making sure that the little tips kind of meet and, have a little meeting there in the middle. Okay. All right. Now comes the middle guy. And we are going to put glue here, here, and here. So the top, basically the 3 middle ones. Okay. And that is where the middle blossom is going to live. This glue is very stringy, I've realized. Stringier than Fabri-Tac, from what I remember. I don't know. All right, so we're going to put the little blossoms there. Now, you know what? I'm seeing that's not matching up very well. Why is that? Why is that? Huh. That's interesting. It should be all the same. Well, I'm going to go for it. You know what? I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to plop it as close to the middle there as I can. Okay, that's strange. That's strange. Okay. Make sure it's not glued to it itself. You can always do some trimming later on, I guess, if we need to. Okay. So then we've got 3 left, right? And let me do the foldy thing here with these as well here. Okay. All right. So now, where's my marker? Here we go. Now we're going to leave the middle one and put a dot here and here, here, and here. Okay. So that's where we put the glue, here and here. And that's where this guy's going to live. Let me see. Like so. And then here. And here. And that's where this guy's going to live. All right. And then we're going to do 3 in the middle again right here and have this one here. So I'm not going to put the dots there because I think you get the picture now, right? Just the middle top here. Okay. Let me see what's the best way to. I'm a little disturbed at why it's a bit uneven. I must have cut my heart a little wonkier than I thought. But that's okay. I'm thinking, since this is book pages, even if some of the pages, peek out from in between the blossoms, I think it might actually still be okay because it's book pages, right? Okay, so now isn't that awesome? And yes, some of the book pages, since they're not lined up completely, are kind of showing through, but I'm actually okay with that. So there. You could start trimming some things off, but I don't know. I think it kind of adds to the coolness of it, kind of a coolness factor. Okay, so how do we attach it to a actual book? Let's just take a look here. I'm going to add this to my Cottage Rose journal. I think that would be pretty. The problem is, oh yeah, okay. I filled up pretty much all of these pages, so I don't have just blank. But even though these aren't the same, I think it'll look fine. It'll be interesting. I think that'll be fine. So, all right. So here's all that's left. Just going to glue the middle on each side, on each end there. So I'm going to do the same thing. Make sure that you get a good amount there, but not all the way down. You just want the very tip. Okay. And kind of place it, center it where it needs to go. And I found that you don't want to put it necessarily really close to the edge because it needs a little bit of room to breathe. So I'm putting it just a little bit further away from the very tippy edge there. So I'm going to make sure that's good and dry before I move on. Okay, and then we're going to do in the middle right here. All right. Maybe a little bit more over here too. Okay. I'm just going to close this page here on top of it and give it a minute to dry. All right, so let's see. Isn't that so pretty? I love it. I'm so in love with this fun trick. I'm so in love with it. But you know what? I'm not done yet. But wait, there's more. I was thinking, as I was waiting for this to dry, I have yet to play with my liquid pearls that I got a little while ago. And I'm thinking that I want to do just a few little accents, like in the middle for sure. And then maybe along the edges a little bit. I don't know. I'm going to play with this a little bit more. So hang on just a minute. Okay, so I did a little bit of playing around with the liquid pearls, and it dawned on me after I did, as pretty as it is to have it in the center, it dawned on me it's not going to be able to fold if there's a hard round thing in the middle. So don't do that. Don't put them right in the center. I kind of, while it's still a little bit wet, I kind of squished it together so that it flattens a little bit. It's not ideal. I wouldn't recommend it. But now having a couple of little pearls on the edges, I think looks quite pretty. I don't know if you can see that really in the camera or not, but anyway, I thought that'd be a fun little touch. What's going on there? Okay. Anyway, that is basically that in a nutshell. Isn't that fun? And just kind of blossoms right open, a whole little bouquet. I love it. I had fun with it. And I now know better not to put liquid pearls in the middle. It actually still looks kind of pretty with the little purple glimmering there. But don't do it. Don't do it. Do as I say, not as I do. So thank you again so much for watching, and I hope you had fun. And I'm going to be making more of these. I'm going to do different color combinations. I really do love the purple edges along with the blue and the pink. It looks like a hydrangea for sure. Hydrangea. I didn't even say that right. Hydrangea. I don't know. However you say it, it's lovely. One of my favorite flowers. So let me know if you've tried it and if you've had any success. And I would love to see pictures of your creations. If you're not in my Facebook group already, you need to join. There's a link below to give you the information on that. And you get freebies and monthly challenges and a bunch of fun camaraderie with other crafters. So I would love to see you there too. And then you can show off your creations. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for watching. If you have not yet subscribed, I would be honored if you did. Like the video and hit that notification bell so that you can see my next adventures and things that you should and shouldn't do at my expense. Learn with me. Sometimes I'm just experimenting. It doesn't go as well as I'd hoped, but that's okay. This is definitely not a disaster. I think it's still quite pretty, even with the squished middles. All right, you guys, thanks so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.